My name is David Peachy and I'm a barrister at 1 Gray's Inn Square. I've spent most of the day observing the protests against the proposed university fee increases that have now been agreed by Parliament. I was there as an independent legal observer, along with a number of barristers from 1 Gray's Inn Square and some solicitors from different firms throughout the capital. As a lawyer, it was very interesting to see firsthand how difficult some of the protesters were finding it to avoid being caught up in some of the more violent action. There were obviously two groups. There were the people who were trying to protest quietly, and then there were people who, it did appear, had attended in order to cause problems. It was also interesting to see that from the police's perspective, it's quite hard to distinguish between those two groups. It's likely that there will be some criticism of the police's manner of policing, and indeed there will be some praise for their manner of policing. Similarly, there will probably be criticism of the ways that the marches were organised, and indeed the fact that some protesters did not stick to the previously organised route. I did manage to take some footage. Here's some of it. As you can see, the footage shows the police horse line letting through a number of people and then closing off so that other people can't get in. The police also employed a technique known as kettling, and indeed, unfortunately, I had to observe a lot of the protest from outside the actual main area, because I got to the stage at about 2:30 when I was at risk of being kettled myself. Here's a video of that moment. So you can see that it was a bit of mayhem, and it can be very difficult after the fact, especially in a court of law, to determine exactly what went on. Furthermore, there is questions as to whether the controversial kettling technique is actually the best technique to use. It was determined to be legal after a controversial decision in the High Court. However, with all of these issues flying about, and with a lot of political debate going to be going on about these protests, the courts will be facing a number of interesting and difficult cases, both factually and legally, over the coming months. Until the next time.